Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to the Tube. This is your review for the 2024 Doctor Who special. With me today is Lord Donkey. How are you and how was your Christmas, sir?
Oh, it was jolly good. Always nice to end Christmas with a brand new Christmas episode, Doctor Who. Um, no matter whether it's the best or the worst, it's always good to have. How about
Awesome.
you?
Yeah, I've had a pretty good Christmas. So, yeah, let's get to it. So, this is the 2024, the second Christmas special starring Shooty Gatler, the 15th Doctor. So, with that said, it's called Joy to the World. So, I'm going to go through plot points and then we're going to talk about so first of all, we'll just start off with the overall view. How did you find this episode, Lord Donkey?
I feel like we enjoyed it watching it that night,
Mm-hmm.
and ever since then, um, you just keep seeing what other people are saying and how it just automatically gets negative attention right off the bat. So I've kind of lost excitement over it since it aired, but I did enjoy it. Is it something I'll go back and watch next year? Probably not, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'd say I'm in the same camp that there was stuff that I really, really liked and there's stuff that I really didn't like. But we'll get into that in as we go on with it. So, uh, this starts off with a cold open with the Doctor jumping in from different time periods with a pumpkin latte and a ham and cheese toasty. And that was just like the weirdest cold open I've ever seen to Doctor Who in my life. There,
Yeah,
he just jumps in and goes,
I
"Ham and cheese toasty and a pumpkin latte." Is just like, okay,
I turned to my husband and say, "Toasty, that's like a grilled cheese."
yeah, yeah. So it's ham and cheese,
Yeah,
ham and cheese like grilled cheeses. So it's a grilled cheese and you put ham in it.
yeah,
Yeah, like these different parents are like it's on the train. I think it's the Orient Express. He's on Mount Everest. He's in Warsaw, Manchester, which is actually where I am. I'm in Manchester. Um, yeah, I thought it was an interesting. I was like, where the hell is he in these different time periods? And like, what's going on?
yeah.
And then he just breaks in on Nicola Coughlan at the end. He's just like, I like, exactly where I need to be. And she has a great beaming spell at the end of it. And I thought, that's great. So, yeah, like, I thought it was a great cold open. What do you think of the cold open?
Yeah, it didn't make sense at the beginning, but I think that's the point. And as they went back through it, like, okay, this makes sense now. Um, yeah, like why is he just walking in with a pumpkin latte? And wasn't it the first one was 1920s with that
Yeah,
old
so no,
couple?
no, no, it's the 1940s, so it's John the Blitz.
Like, do they have pumpkin lattes back in the 1920s? Like, are they gonna know what he's
No, no,
talking
no,
about?
no, like, because that was during the World War, so no, they're on
Oh,
rationing and
that
stuff like
that
that.
was that was during the war, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So during the Blitz, so like, I mean, that's one thing that did kind of annoy me was like, why is that old man
That
out
poor
on the
old couple's
balcony?
like, what the hell is a pumpkin latte?
But it's not that, it's the fact that he was on a very balcony during the bloody Blitz. I'm like, are you
Hmm.
kidding me? It's like a bomb could hit you. Why are you not in a flaming bunker? Because
Because it's yeah. It's not like we haven't been to the Blitz or to that time in. I remember with Nine we were there. And it's like it was chaos. So yeah, this guy's just hanging out on the balcony like, oh look, this one's getting bigger.
But yeah, I did like that, like because it's always good to open with a bit of a mystery, like why is there Doctor here? So I did like that, and then then it starts proper with us in the actual future. I think it's like 4027 or something like that, 35 or something like that, something like that,
In the
something in that.
actual time
Yeah,
hotel.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And I love the idea of this hotel where you can actually book time to go back to Christmas in any time period you want. So like, and I love that idea. Like, there is like different time periods and different period times, even in times where they
yeah.
didn't really celebrate Christmas as we understand it now. So like, like during Roman
Take
times,
that,
that sort of thing.
Shatner, with Priceline. We can book hotel rooms back in time that weren't sold.
Yeah,
I thought the time hotel was a cool concept.
I thought it was a cool concept as well. Like, I just love the fact that he just comes in and then all of a sudden like there is this man just that stood there in the hotel like with this briefcase
And that's
like
all it took to get the doctor's attention.
yeah, like somebody doing literally nothing. Is literally
Like he's doing nothing, but he's acting suspicious enough that I'm going to put my coat on and grab the Sonic.
yeah, I thought that was great. Like because it clues into this, and then the way that this guy was like talking, like was and this became like a little bit of a phrase that I loved in this front, where it was just like the setting of atmosphere during this beginning was great. Like the it the flesh will rise and the space evil bloom and whatever it is. Just that. Yeah, I just love that repetition of it all the time.
It felt very Moffat.
It did feel a bit Moffat, yeah. And then we met what's his name now? The guy who was like the he says, "Oh, I need you to help me," stuff like that, and like, yeah, Trevor, yeah, because I recognize that guy. I recognize that guy from yesterday and stuff like that. He's always like the bumbling friend sort of thing, like. I was just like, I enjoyed watching it here. Like, I was like, all right, we're in for a bit of a comedic episode, but there's still enough serious stuff with like the fact that like when this handcuff goes on to someone else, it literally like kills the other person. Like, I mean, like when we literally says, "Oh, I'm about to die," and all of a sudden you just see him like disintegrate in front of you. It's like, oh my god,
that was shocking. The first one, they just got like Thanos dusted.
Yeah, it's just like
but with glitter.
Yeah. And then Trevor got it, and I was like, as soon as Trevor got it, I was like, oh no! Because I
know we liked Trevor.
Yeah, I like Trevor.
And he's gone already. Like, okay.
And then like it got attached to the manager, who is the guy from the beginning of for the cold open, and it's like, and he follows him into these. Yeah, it follows him into 2024. And we see like him coming into that hotel room where we this is the beginning. What's going on? So we're now clued into he's trying to do something with this briefcase that's been opened, and it's just like I did something like, "Oh, you have great power," and then it says, I did just like it attaches itself to Nicola Coughlan, and like it's just like
It reminded me of Boom, the other episode from Steven. For 15 at least, where I'm a big cosmic event. You don't want to go blowing me up with a mine. So I think similar concept there with the briefcase. Also, it had that menacing aspect of like the going way back again to the empty child with 9, where the briefcase just attaches itself. And that's, I don't know, I lost my train of thought now. Just how it was like, oh, the briefcase just chooses you and decides you're the next victim. Kind of like
like when he disarms it, he opens it, and it says he's going to kill her, and that sort of like breaks the spell over it temporarily, and like and then all of a sudden the doctor himself bursts in like, how the hell did you get there? He was like, oh, the TARDIS. It's like, no, it's nothing to do with the TARDIS. And he comes out and he broke the door, and he just went, you're going to be alone the rest of your life. I'm like, oh my god, that's a bit dark.
He just goes off on himself. Someone, it might have been the Facebook group there, the Shurigawa is the doctor group, where you usually see the older doctor telling off the younger doctor. But this was technically the younger doctor. Just, you don't have any chairs because nobody wants to be with you. It was a lot.
Yeah, that was a little bit much. But then he goes to Anita, the head of the hotel, says like, "Do you have anything you need me to do?" And all of a sudden, like, he's helping out in this hotel. I mean, their relationship, in my opinion, was the strongest part of this entire spectrum.
It was. I would have loved to see more of Anita. So normally before the Christmas episode, I'll watch a different Christmas episode. It'll either
Yeah.
be Husbands of River Song, because that's my favorite, or Voyage of the Damned, because that's my second favorite. I didn't get to this time. So afterwards, I put on 11's regeneration episode, Time of the Doctor.
Yeah.
That Christmas special. And it's the Doctor staying in one place for a long period of time. And it was really great to see 15 staying in one place. And all the gimmicks of like, oh, the microwave's bigger on the inside now.
I love that joke.
Like,
I like
he just has that. He can just do that to anything.
yeah. I love the fact that like they enjoyed time together. Like that like that she smiles every time he's in the room and stuff like that. I'm just like, I mean, I felt more. I know Shooty in real life is gay, but even that, I thought they had much more connection than him and Rogue did in the episode in the last series. Like they seem to have a
Rogue.
real.
Yeah, Rogue did not. Rogue deserves a whole season. Hopefully, if we
Yeah.
get season 3, Rogue can be the companion.
No. I
But
mean,
I feel like
I'm not against it. It's just that
yeah,
but in relationship that Rogue was in the episode that Rogue was in, it just felt that relationship was so unearned because again, I'm gonna.
it was too
like,
short-lived.
Yeah, it's like well, would it go straight there? I mean, again, like I live in a very LGBT town, so I know that like gay relationships are like straight ones. We don't just jump into the bed with just anybody. You know, like it has to take time for it to develop. Well, sometimes we do, but like you know, more time than not, we tend to take the time, and that what felt like to me. It's just like, and I felt that Anita and the Doctor had much more of a romantic connection because she seemed to be like generally have affection for her. It's just like, can't we have more of this? It's like because him and Anita just had romantic energy, even though it might be uncomfortable for him.
And I could see that working, and even with Shooty being gay, I could see him playing that as the Doctor. It reminds me of when 12 and Missy came along. It's like, oh, Missy used to be the Master, and Claire was confused, like, oh, Peter said something like, Time Lords are much more evolved than your concepts of gender and identity. Like, for them, it's, you know, the Doctor was a woman, now is a man. He's attracted to whatever.
Yeah, and I like that. It's very his sexuality and his identity is very just ongoing. It's just I think he is, or she is, or they are. You know what I mean?
Well, that's it. The whole thing, the gender and the sexual identity is all fluid throughout the whole thing. I like that they did touch on that they had some good connection there for that year that he spent, but it's something that like we've run into with other shows where it's like I'm glad they didn't go the full romantic route, but okay that they touched on it. Like
no, I said I'm for it because I agree with you. Like I like the idea of the chase romance, but even so, it just felt that. And he like still cared about her enough to like to get a job at the Time Hotel. Yeah, spoilers.
Yeah.
Then like he does burst into the room and then rescues Nicola Coughlin, and then she's took over by the briefcase again, and then and that's just like I'm just like okay, and then like she starts like going off without him to try and find somewhere. Going, I need to find this place. And he's just like going, what you trying to do? And then they go
Xanta.
Yeah, that was great. I love the fact that like the things started to like flash up different people that it being in, and then all of a sudden they find themselves in the Jurassic World thing. They play with the treehouse. I'm like thinking, there's some stuff that I was like, what? I was like, right, hang on a second. Like, this is where I went. Hang on a second, right? There was no tree houses in the Jurassic.
It's a hut.
That's a tree house. Yeah.
It was a
Right?
tree house or some kind of hut.
No, that's what I mean. It's
Yeah.
like I can't imagine there's a treehouse in bloody Jurassic period. In fact, there weren't any humans for a start. So what did they do? It's like, did some brave soul like go there and like build it? It was like I was there going like, yeah, how does this work? You like who's there going? Do you know what I really want to do for Christmas? Is stay in the Jurassic period.
Raptor claws coming to town.
I like thinking like you got. I mean, the thing is like because it depends whereabouts it is, to what dinosaur you got to get, and secondly, you really want to get eaten by some dinosaurs.
Right.
So you're asleep, and then all you hear, next thing you hear is
Like,
and then the next thing you.
my thought is that the time, maybe the time hotel goes back to that time and puts this tree house up in this big tree and think, oh, we'll have people stay here. And then what? A week later, pterodactyls turn it into their nests. Like, here's your room. Why didn't these people ever check out?
Yeah. It's just like
That was a stretch,
oh, yeah, like
for sure.
yeah. It's just like, and then also like the most get the thing off Nicola Coughlan, and now it's just there, and then they're talking all of a sudden like the flaming dinosaur from the Jurassic
Yeah.
Park ride comes and flaming eat stuff. And I'm not thinking, actually, that looks like the lamest flaming animatronic flaming dinosaur I've seen. This side of the Jurassic Park ride.
Right. We've had full size dinosaurs and things for, well, way beyond before Jurassic Park, but it's been perfected since the 90s. So yeah, that dinosaur
Yes.
could have looked a little better.
It looked a bit
Yeah.
rubbish. I mean, I consider we've had dinosaurs in Doctor Who.
Oh yeah, that's
They've looked a lot
right.
better than this.
The 12's first episode. Yeah.
Yeah, it looked a lot better than
Yeah.
this. I don't know if Disney just went right. We're not just doing dinosaurs.
It was a
We're fine
dinosaur
with it,
from the
okay.
Disney archives.
Yeah, like one of them like live action things from the 50s. The Emperor of Last Silver.
But leading up to the dinosaur
yeah.
was the whole 15 trying to make Joy really mad to break the hold, and then it released.
Yeah.
That part was really interesting to me because we don't ever see 15 getting angry. He's always happy, kind of a continuation of Jody, where he's very happy, and we don't ever see that dark side like the old New Who, I guess, not old.
I thought in Dr. Bubble and the last two episodes of season 1, he got really bad. Like he went really dark. And I agree with what Greeton said about it. That if he just did that instead of this happy-go-lucky thing, he could be a lot better character. Like, and maybe we see it too often that like he has this happy-go-lucky because he's masking.
Yeah, he's masking his trauma.
And I think that. Yeah, like because you got to remember, like because this is the Doctor that's I think Peter Capaldi re-killed the bloody Time Lords, so like he's probably having to deal with the guilt of that.
Oh, our
Ripley
TV is blocking it. It was got low viewing figures. True, it might have got low viewing figures the day of, but does that even matter anymore? The viewing numbers the day of, or because it's all
because
so.
a lot of people because it was during Christmas Day, Ripley. So Christmas Day viewing numbers have been going down steadily since.
And one other thing, of course, if it's a new episode of anything, Rigby, of course it's woke because, and I say that in an ironic way because everything is accused of being woke, even if it's just a little nod to one thing or another.
Yeah, it's like Doctor Who's always been woke.
Yeah, William Shatner. When did Star Trek get so woke? You were there.
It's like Doctor Who was run by a woman and flaming an Asian bloke in the 1960s. It's always been woke.
Yeah.
Like they had very progressive attitudes to women. They had very progressive attitudes towards race. They had very progressive attitude towards sexuality even before that thing became normalized. So, yeah. But yeah, the whole thing was just like I love the fact that she brings up the fact that her mum died the year before and that she's been lonely, and I'm just like I no sorry, but 4 years before,
Yeah,
and it's just
during
like
COVID.
and then there's just like oh, and it's just one of those things where you don't realize, but we don't realize because we lived it, how much of a historical event the whole COVID thing will become in future generations. It
Hmm.
will become like the Black Death, or it'll become like the influenza virus or something like that. It'll become this like
Yeah,
worldwide thing that
it'll be stories we
will live on
retell
the
to
generation.
the youngsters. I mean, um,
Yeah,
it this is what I meant at the very beginning, where I enjoyed it during, but then I hear all the negative comments afterwards, and it just sours it, even though I still enjoyed it and thought it was a decent episode. The COVID
yeah.
scene, like with the mom saying goodbye on the iPad, that was very sad. Kind of haphazard. I don't know if it was handled the best.
It was out nowhere to. It was out nowhere to me. But
Yeah,
like
the
I
fact that they
understand that.
cut to that part 4 years ago when she was in the hospital, that was kind of jarring and a little bit traumatic. But um,
Yeah.
it's I can't think of what who where were we in 2020 with Doctor Who? Jodie had just been announced,
Uh,
or Jodie had
yes.
started as the Doctor.
Jodie, I think Jodie did 4 years, 3 years. So I think that she'd either been announced or Peter just faced his. I think
Yeah, what was
I'm going to
Twice
try to
Upon
remember
a
the timeline
Time?
in my head. Yeah. Sorry. Um, yeah, it's. But yeah, the thing that when they go into that cave and all into that town and all, so like she then like she
Oh,
starts to despair like I'm supposed to take this upon me and all this stuff that the speech she does before she like fires off and was like when she rises up. A lot of people said that that effect does look a bit cheesy. I'm like, yeah, between that and the dinosaurs, yeah, the
it
special effects here are looking a bit cheap.
yeah. I mean, Doctor Who since the 60th has kind of turned back to being, more campy, less dark and whatnot. So cheesy, yes,
Hmm.
it's Doctor Who.
Yeah, and then we start seeing like when she comes up and we start seeing like the different time periods that he visited before, and like we see the star and the suns. It's well, we have to have hope and stuff like that. And I thought, all right, that's really well done
Yeah,
from
Cheeto,
Cheetah.
exactly. That's what I was getting at. No, Twice Upon a Time was 2017. So um, Jodie was well established as the Doctor when the pandemic
Okay.
started, and well, we had maybe a season or two after 2020 with her, and then the
Hmm.
60th in 2023. So Doctor Who, I don't really think has touched on COVID because it hasn't had time. So this is kind of the first that I can remember since 2020 that they've referenced it.
Yeah, and then like the very very end where it goes Bethlehem 001. I was just like, and that one made me just groan out loud. I was like, oh, for heaven's sake!
Literally.
I'm like, I mean, yeah, I'm a Christian myself, and was like thinking, really, like Doctor Who's going to do this? I'm like,
Well,
I looked
yeah.
at it, I went, bugger off, Muppet, you know what I mean?
Was it a bit of an eye roll? Yeah. Does it make sense?
It was
It
like
is a
that.
Christmas episode, so they went back to the first one, and she became the North
Yes,
Star, that the wise men
yeah.
followed.
I was like, what? Like, because it would make more sense to me if she became the sun. That would make more
Oh,
sense to me.
our
Like
son, yeah.
if she, yes, like that would make more sense because if she's supposed to be a star, because our son is a star anyway. So like, if they go back to the birth of everything, and then she
Yeah,
became our son, and he just went joy to the world, and
yeah. Her becoming the North Star. I
everyone
don't
said
know.
it was Mega Monk. What was Mega Monk about him, Rick?
Well, the two things that I keep seeing people talk about is the fact that they even mention COVID makes it woke, And she makes a jab at Partygate, which I, as the American over here, forgot what Partygate was. Had to look it back up. With
Right. Well,
Boris.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just like, but that doesn't make it woke. It's just very timely because like they're talking about this thing
Hmm.
that did,
It
and like,
just
I
happened.
yeah, that I mean, people still. I mean, COVID's still around. I mean, it's not gone away. I mean, keeps going back in different variations and different forms. I mean, people still die of it. So like,
Yeah.
I'm just there going, like, this isn't woke. This is a lived reality for people. Like, there's
Hmm.
people who are still fighting it now, who are still in hospitals because they caught it either at the tail end and stuff like that, and it
Yeah.
really messed with them. And it's like, and there's people who've lost people to it. So it probably it's good for them, those people, to see a lived reality that they've been through, where they've had to like tend to somebody who's passed away or is going to pass away from it, and how they deal with that. So it's always good for a television program, even if it's a sci-fi program, dealing with a lived reality that a lot of people had to live with. So I don't see what's woke about it. It's just dealing with something that people went through. The new Doctor is
The
super gay.
Yes, he is.
I'm not touching that with a barge pole. I'm not touching that. I'm not a part of the LGBT community, so I'm not touching that with a barge pole.
Well, I am part of it, so I mean, and 10 was super hetero, and well, not really. 11 was married to a woman, but also the Doctor has kissed every male companion
Yes,
through Moffat era. I don't remember. Did 12 kiss anyone? I don't remember.
I can't know.
But
I yeah, it's a slow. It's a slow, like going like
as Donna
what's wrong
mentioned,
with him being what's
hmm,
wrong with him being a bit campier? Like the Doctor Who's
campier,
been
it's gayer. I mean,
it's
the
like
showrunner's gay. What do you want?
yes, like he's an atheist gay person. What do you expect? You know what I mean? It's like you're gonna get what you're gonna get with him.
Yeah.
I don't, it's just like, well, it is what it is. It's Doctor Who. You know, it's a program where all sexualities, all genders, all gender expressions are valid.
Hmm.
It's all about the fact that humanity can be better than it is. I don't see the issue. I mean, so, is there any bits that you think you didn't like? Let's go to that.
Mm, let me see. I don't. Nothing that I really disliked, I suppose. I feel like there were some loose ends, like um, they mentioned Villengard, the weapons manufacturer that Moffat mentioned in his first episode, which I've mentioned already. The going back to the empty child with nine, um, the whole bananas are cool. The the phase pistol that Captain Jack had that made the square in the wall, um, and the Doctor turned their weapons manufacturer, like their manufacturing area, into a place where bananas are growing, and swaps out the gun with the banana. I mean, that's classic. That's the pop I have of nine over
Yeah, me
here.
too. Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
so he brings up Villengard, and oh, they want a star for unlimited power. Like that felt like a bit of a stretch.
yeah,
There's a couple things with this episode that if it wasn't a Christmas episode, I would be more upset with it. Because it's a Christmas episode, I feel like they can do more of whatever they want.
yeah.
Like
Great.
the hotel, great concept, but it's only 2000 years in our future, and that never came up before. I mean, that's the same issue we have when we talk about Trek, where like, oh, they had something cool at this point in this new show in this time period, but it never gets referenced again. Like, well, yeah, because that's already been done and created. But um, so it'd be
Yeah,
cool if they go back and do something with that, and if they go back and tie up some of those loose ends. But
I agree.
again, it's a Christmas episode, so it's more for fun than actual what does Cheeto like to say? Canon light,
Mhm.
something like
Well,
that.
well, let's get to what Cheeto said here. Problem is, this past year proves humanity is not better than it can be. I disagree. I
Mm.
think that it's just proved that some human beings uh, want to cling on to ideas that certain people represent them when they don't. I think
And
that's
they're
what
the
this is.
louder ones,
Yes.
and actually went out and cast their votes.
Yeah. And I think that what's been good about humanity this year is that we have pulled together in like we are trying to address the things that we're trying to address. And I have hope for that. But again, like I think the next 4 years will be very telling in your country. Sorry, Adam. Um,
We'll see what happens. Fingers
but
crossed.
I want to address something before we actually went. A couple of things. Did
Hmm.
you see online that there has been a theory that Anita could possibly be Mrs.
I
Flood in the
saw that
future?
too. Is that in the Facebook group as well?
I
That
believe it was. Yeah.
yeah, it would make a lot of sense. I don't know, and it could really work as a theory because I mean this is Moffat's episode, and I'm
Mhm.
sure he worked real close with Davies on how anyone who's going to continue from this Christmas episode fits into the larger story.
Yeah.
Um, is that something I'm feeling like 15 is missing? Is that overarching big story like with with 11 we had River, which I loved River. We had the whole Gallifrey coming back after the 50th, and ever since then there's not been like a overarching. We've had hints of it from the 60th with the toy makers references
Hmm.
and Mrs. Flood. So yeah, it would be interesting if they were to use Anita that way, and that she becomes Mrs. Flood and aware of the Doctor, and has someone on that group as well mentioned it would be very interesting to see a former companion or companion for an episode like oh, what was her name in Voyage of the Damned, where she was a great companion for that one episode and then they kill her off. Um, but it'd be great to see a former companion or associate companion like that come back as the villain.
Yeah, that could be
That would
good.
be something new to Doctor Who.
Well, again, like that's the second thing I wanted to address with you was the trailer for the next season two. Well, it's not season
Oh,
two,
I
but
didn't
season.
see that yet.
Well, I won't go into too bad.
Oh no, go
Um,
ahead. What? I'll watch it
but
right after.
there is a episode. There's a bit of it where a cartoon out of the cinema goes and grabs people and pulls them in. I'm like, that looks a little bit like Cuphead if you ever played that game. I wanted to address, like, I think that we are going to see, hopefully, and a touch wood, we're going to see Susan in the new one because cause the fact that
Yeah,
they keep on hinting at it. It's like the actress who played Susan originally is still alive. I would say,
miraculously that
yeah, I think
they
she's.
keep
How old is
mentioning
she?
her and she's still hanging on. Like, come on, just put her in
Yeah, just
one
put her in. It's like,
episode.
yeah, it's like I think age wise she's like 80 something now. I think it's like the original actress.
I
I think
mean,
she did. Getting up
going
there.
back even to like the 50th, they start that episode on the Coal Hill School,
Yeah.
and I think what was it? Ian was the headmaster,
Yes.
and I thought, oh, maybe one of them will appear here, and they brought Ian back, right, in one of Jodie's episodes,
Yeah. Yes. He was like chair of the
the
Doctors
former
Companions Club
Companions
or whatever it was.
Association or something.
Yeah, whatever
Yeah.
it was. Yeah. And it'd be great to see. I hope that we do get her back because, like, I, the fact that the end of the last episode had her so much, had Susan Triers and stuff like that, and they all thought that it was the Doctor's grand.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Gaz, where'd you go? Well, now you can see my whole. Oh, see, yeah, right here. There's Peter. Gaz,
But I'd just love to see her back.
you're talking about Susan.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm looking forward to season 2. But I do agree with what Ginger has been saying, where that he's been just too full on and shouty and stuff like that, and he's just like he doesn't need to be like.
That was the other thing. One of the articles I saw or comments that I was seeing for the mirror over there. Is that what kind of magazine is that?
If Fox News was a paper, it'd be the Mirror.
Oh, okay, because that started coming up on my Facebook feed. Like, what did I like or view that made Facebook give me the mirror? So I saw their article about this episode and all the comments there. That's the rabbit hole I went on to see all the negative comments about this episode.
It's probably because you like Doctor Who, and that's why it was. It went,
Yeah,
you like Doctor Who, so here's
the mirror.
Here's a right wing.
And then other articles from the mirror kept popping up. Like, no, hide all from the mirror. I don't want to.
All right, do you know who Piers Morgan is?
I do, unfortunately.
All right, he used to be the editor for it, and he's that's where the hacking stand-on came from, and the whole thing.
But someone in that article or in that comment section was like, he cried like 3 times in this episode. Is there an episode go by where he doesn't cry? Like, the Doctor's displaying emotions, and that's woke. It's woke to express any emotions now,
especially if you're a man. Yes, that's the thing that makes you cross. Anyway, we'll wrap things up. So, out of 10, what would you give this?
Like I said at the beginning, I feel like it was a good Christmas entry. Is it one of my favorites that I'll go back to? Probably not. I'd probably give it between a 7 and an 8. I'm not sure. I'm not going to go halvesies.
I'll give it because of the feels I had for it. Like, apart from the end, I will give it. I'll give it a 6, just because like the relationship with Anita was great. I enjoyed that. I wanted more of her. If it was just based on their relationship and that was the whole episode, I would have been all for it. This would have been a lot higher. But
it felt like Joy was a little wasted. That she immediately got taken over by the briefcase, and then she becomes a star.
Like, it's just like, well, if you don't know who Nicola Coughlan is, I do know who she is. But I don't know if she's famous in America.
I don't know. I don't know who she is, but I would have loved to see more of her.
Have you ever seen Dairy Girls? Is that a thing in America?
I don't know of it.
All right, so it's a comedy based upon like Northern Irish girls in like I think like the 70s. And she's one of the Dairy Girls.
Okay.
Like, and like she was in Bridgerton, the new one, and stuff like that. And she's pretty well.
We didn't keep going on Bridgerton. We watched the first couple episodes. And...
Yeah, so she's the new one in Bridgerton. I think she just did the last season. I did it.
Okay.
But she is. But yeah, she is.
She seemed great. I love the character of Joy, but then
we spent more time with Anita than we did with Joy.
Yeah, that's the tricky part. That that might make me decide on a 7 then, because we did spend a lot of time with Anita, which the trailer and the whole this was put out like Joy was supposed to be the companion of the episode.
Yeah.
And she was, but while she was under the influence of the briefcase. Yeah. So I agree. I would have liked to see more of Joy as herself.
Agreed.
And I enjoyed what we did get of her, and I liked the actress, but it would have been nice to see more of that character.
Yeah, and my 6 is for the same reasons. Like, Anita was great, and to be honest, if she was the companion rather than Joy, I would have enjoyed this episode a lot more. It's nothing to do with Nicola Coughlan; she's great, but it just was just like, well, I didn't spend any time there. I spent a lot of time with Anita, and then if Anita was helping her out, and then he got a job at the Time Hotel, that would have felt more of a complete art to me.
Yeah.
And rather than the whole thing,
Oh,
we're going
that
to make,
was it. Yeah. How Nita joins the Time Hotel,
yeah,
and that being how she ends up as Mrs. Flood.
yeah.
I
So
like that theory.
yeah, that is the theory that's going around. So please leave a comment of what you thought of this special. We both liked it in parts, but I think we're both quite mixed on it. But with it being a Christmas special, I think we're both willing to give it a general pass. Are you excited for the next season?
Yeah, I totally forgot that a new trailer came out, so I'm gonna check that out when we're done here. Like I said, I really hope they go in the direction of an overarching story, or a big bad that's peppered throughout the season. Not,
Yeah,
I don't know. The last season with Sutek was great, but it was all at the end, and
yeah.
it was
I mean,
could have been better.
I mean, just a side note before we finish. So, would you rather that like Sutek was sort of like teased throughout that sort of thing? Because I think they did tease it a little bit, saying that the big like that a big bang was coming, but I think nobody thought it was going to be Sutek, and that's I think what
Yeah,
people kind of. But saying that though, I thought they did a really good job of bringing him in because like people forgot about it, and then all of a sudden people started watching the Pyramids of Mars or whatever it was called. That particular episode, and it's just
yeah.
actually that's got to be something that we do. Hopefully, sometime in the new year, is all of us do a review of the Pyramid of Mars because I think it's an underrated episode personally.
What's funny is that we were just my husband and I were just at a vintage store, and they had some Doctor Who VHS tapes there, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember if Pyramids was one of them, but I know there was a couple from. I think there was one from 4 and one from 5, and I should have grabbed one of them, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't know where my VCR is now.
Yeah, so like in the new year, we will be doing some
Yeah,
reviews of some classic episodes because I think that's something that we should maybe start doing. So because I've got a couple that I would recommend, like for example, Pyramid of
yeah.
Mars. I'd also do City of Death and
Way way back, like right around after the 60th, we had all talked about our favorite episodes,
yeah,
and I had started watching some of the classic ones. I think
me too.
I made it through the third Doctor. I was starting 4, and then I got, sidetracked and canceled my BritBox because I have to subscribe to BritBox to get that stuff here
Yeah, like because
on top of Prime.
yeah, because whenever Doctor Roger Delgado turns up as the Master, I'm just like yes, and it's
Yeah.
like because
Oh,
he's such a
yeah.
great villain.
Hmm.
But anyway, we'll carry on forever with the But anyway, yeah. Please leave a comment. Tell us what you thought. If there's any Doctor Who things anyone wants to talk about, please leave it in the comment because we love to see it.
Yeah.
And we'll wish you a Merry Christmas. And remember,